How's it going, everybody? Ryan here, aka Blackbeard TCG, and today I'm going to be showing you guys some gameplay with my updated Whitebeard build. It's going to be a live commentary. Let's see if we can get somebody to join the room. OPO2, it'll be interesting. I know a lot of people these days are playing OPO1 because obviously there is the incentive to, because Treasure Cup is coming up, so a lot of people are practicing that. Of course, a lot of people are trying to practice for their locals here since we have our release in English. But looks like we get a matchup against Smoker. Should be fun. I'm going to choose to go second here. And you know what? I'll go ahead and keep this hand. So I actually haven't gone up against Smoker all that often, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. He's going to go ahead and attach one Dawn and swing at our leader, and I will go ahead and counter that really easily. He has two Dawn. We'll see if he decides to play blocker here. He could play Corazon here if he so chooses, but he decides to pass the turn over to us. So we now have four Dawn, and this is where the Whitebeard deck starts to kick in. We'll go ahead and deploy our Atmos, and then we'll swing with our Edward Newgate, see if we can get a hit here. All right, we do get a hit, and we'll pass turn and get to draw another card. So the idea behind this deck is to play super aggressive and try to protect against our opponent's attacks. So here he goes ahead and he's going to try to swing on us again. I'm going to go ahead and use my Diamond Jozu here to stay alive. And then he goes ahead and plays Kobe. Kobe will be able to destroy our Atmos here by discarding one, and that will be that. Okay, so turn will pass back over to us. I do want to keep one Dawn open to be able to guard point for next turn because I know that he's probably going to Smoker here. So I think I'll drop off King Do here because King Do is going to be really strong. Won't be really able to get cheesed by Kobe, and he'll probably have to invest a Sakazuki in order to kill it. He does have a 2k counter, which is fine, and we'll pass turn. So we have a bunch of guard points now, which is interesting. We'll see how that pans out. He has 7 Dawn, so Sakazuki could come out. He actually goes for the Borsalino here. Looks like he's going to attach 1 Dawn, leave 2 Dawn open. So we could just simply 1k counter this. Turn passes back over to us. So we can now use Portgoss D Ace and lower the cost of Borsalino here if he does decide to block with it. So I think I will do that. We do also have Tony Chopper, which I'm fine playing later. So let's go ahead and minus those. I'm going to leave the 1 Dawn open, and we'll start off by swinging with our Whitebeard. We'll see if this goes through. It does. We'll then swing with King Do here. So if he does choose to block with Borsalino, it is going to be 5k. He does decide to use Impact Wave, which is fine. We don't really get affected by it too much. Now we could swing here with another 7k, and I don't think that he's going to block with Borsalino here. Oh, he does. He doesn't want to take the hit, which is fine. I'll go ahead and pass it back over to him. He may look to try to control board here. We do have one 2k counter as well as 1 guard point that we can use, which will be really nice. And then we do have Portgoss D Ace to try to go for lethal next turn as well, depending on how things play out. So here I'm going to think, am I confident that I can win next turn? That's the question. Because the smart play here would just be to counter with Otama. And I think I'm going to do that. I know it's not optimal, but I don't think I want to take the hit here. Here comes Sakazuki, so he's going to K our King Do, which is to be expected. And then he gets a blocker on board, which is fine. Okay, so we're going to have to worry about Sakazuki next turn for sure. We definitely want to have Dawn open. So let's see how we want to play this. So we have Red Hawk. We could try to attack and see if he's going to actually use a blocker here. So let's just attack with our leader real quick. We'll see if we can get this hit through or if he decides to block. So we do get the hit through, so that's fine. Okay, so if we were to save all of our defense here, we would have to have 5 Dawn active, which means we would not be able to play our Portgoss D Ace. So maybe we pump up our Portgoss D Ace here and force him to block with Suru. That's an option because then maybe that will attract him to wanting to KO my Portgoss D Ace with Sakazuki instead of going for lethal. But he probably wouldn't do that anyway. We could Portgoss D Ace, and then that would leave us with 3 guard points. which I think would be pretty good defense. Let's try. Let's swing with this. And we'll see if he switches it to Suru. He does. Okay, so that kind of devalues Red Hawk a little bit because Red Hawk would only be able to hit Kobe. And, I mean, he could use Kobe. He could put Dawn on Kobe this turn to try to do some damage to me. So maybe Red Hawk still has a place. I could get a Chopper out with a Portgoss D Ace here and then still have 2. But if that's the case, he could easily -1. Smoker will get a free +1, which could be very dangerous. So I kind of don't want to play Chopper, but then I guess it's fine because at least I'll still have blocker on board. But he could have Kobe and then just KO my my blocker afterwards. It's very interesting. I kind of want to keep my defense for my guard points though. So I think I just play Portgoss D Ace here and we just swing with it. I think that this is probably the best play because he's forced to go for lethal this turn. If he doesn't go for lethal this turn, then we win next turn, right? So he has to get 2 successful attacks out. Black doesn't have rush, so he has 3 attacks that he could successfully get out. So it comes down to, can he end the game here? So let's see what he decides to do. He attaches 1 Dawn to Sakazuki, making it 8k. Remember, we are a 6k life character, so guard point will be very strong. We also have Radical Beam, which will be very powerful. So it looks like he is going to go for board here. And I'm fine with letting this ace die. So that's good. So he recognizes that he will have to control board if not. So he does have Borsalino and he does have Kuzan. Okay, so we have to think about how we want to play this now. Because we could drop down our other Portgoss D Ace, -3 to the Borsalino. So that would just make it 4k, which would make it very easy for us to swing. So I think our first play here is to attack with Whitebeard. See if we can get some counters out of hand. Okay, so he's now in lethal range. So I have to fully commit here because if not, I'm gonna lose 1 life and then he'll have a whole bunch of things on board. So I don't need to. I don't even need to think about using Tony Chopper or any of my defensive options because I'm not even going to. I mean, I could technically use it, but he's gonna have so many attackers on board. So I think the right play here is to try to go for lethal. So we know that he's going to block with Borsalino here. So maybe I just try to be cheeky, attach 1 Dawn to Ace, make it seem like I have nothing, right? And then he'll block with Borsalino and then hope that I could use the rest of the Dawn to be 9k and then end the game. But the thing is, if he has counters in his hand, then it won't work. So I guess let's try it. Let's try to be cheeky here. Okay, there it is. It dies. So then now we can Portgoss D Ace, attach 2 Dawn to make it 9k. And then if he has the counters, oh, he just disconnected quick. He did not want it to rock. He's just like, shit. Yeah, I mean, not bad, not bad. I think it was a good play. We attached the 1 Dawn to the Ace. So that way he would block with the Borsalino. So he's probably thinking like, okay, like if he's attaching Dawn, maybe he has no other play. He's going to play defensively. And so that way we get the blocker off board. Now we have 9k, meaning that he would have to get to 10k to play defense. So that means he would have to have 3 2k counters in hand, which is the math that I was thinking of. So if he had 3 2k counters out of the 6, then that would be fine. But I was banking on the fact that he didn't have it because because Black plays a lot of cards that don't have counter. And the ones that do have counter, a lot of builds aren't running that many 2k counters, right? Like you only really have Monkey D. Garp or Tashigi. So that's kind of what I was banking on, hoping that these were 1k counters. And if they were 1k counters, then he would have to discard basically his whole hand. And if he had it, then fair enough, he would have had it, right? But it ends up working out for us. So this is my Whitebeard build. Pretty fun. I'm having a ton of fun with this build. I'm going to make a little bit more changes. Stay tuned for the deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.